Good evening. I just wanted to tell you thank you for inviting us to tonight to your meeting. My name is Sharon Mobley, and I am the wife of Mr. Charles E. Mobley Jr. And Charles wrote this wonderful, wonderful book, Once I Could Run. And I really would like for you to hear some of what he has to say.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm back again, speaking to you. We're glad that you're here and listening to this wherever you are. And I hope you get the information and inspiration from it. Uh, it was a labor uh, of love and something to be uh, getting the word out about polio. Uh, some people, many people nowadays, especially people under 50, uh, probably have never heard of polio, or if they have, they don't know what it does. And I wanted to make sure they understood what it does, because if you choose not to vaccinate, you are making a choice for someone else who, in many cases, is not in a position to make an informed choice. So you are deciding whether you're going to expose a person to paralytic polio, which has devastating consequences, and it ranges all the way from almost complete paralysis to very slight limp, sometimes almost none you can see visibly. But I wanted to do that because even medical people today, many of them have very little knowledge of polio. They don't cover it much in medical school. Reasoning, I suppose, that they don't need to, because there's almost no cases in the USA, but there are still polio cases in the world. As long as polio is loose in the environment, there's always possibility of catching it. So you have to be aware of that. And this book chronicles my journey from a young country boy, never been to a big city, bigger than 30,000 population, to Memphis, Tennessee, in a block of 20-story high medical buildings, hospitals, and all offices. So huge culture shock for me, and a lot of getting used to. And on top of that, being transformed to a person who could run quickly and who would be left being unable to walk. So it's a very big change, a lot of adjustment. The only thing led me through church and my family. My church, the First Baptist Church in Aberdeen, Mississippi, where I went to church. And it was my my life was divided between church and school, which was appropriate because they were only about 4 blocks apart. So it made it easy to go to after church, after school meetings at the church. Well, anyway, we're making this video to help to answer maybe some questions about the book. And if you notice my hesitancy in speaking, it's because breathing problems. Because of polio, I was confined to an iron lung for 3 months before I was weaned away from it. And now I'm getting weaker toward the end of needing artificial respiration. So it's a new challenge I have to deal with. But here again, I think about the text statement in the Bible, the verses from Joshua and from Hebrews. I'll let my wife read those to you from the King James First Version.
Well, you know, Chuck has some beautiful um, scriptures that he really likes, and we'd like to share a couple of them with you. And he has a special memory that you won't find in the book, but it is a very special memory for you to see how he has had been surrounded by and carried through his life by the Lord. And if the first one he wanted me to read was Hebrews 13:5. And it says, "Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have, for he hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee." And that is a wonderful verse to say that he never felt as though the Lord had abandoned him. He always knew that the Lord was there. Honey, would you tell them about that time, that those times that you had your mother there when you were in the iron lung?
Well, they had to travel there 150 miles on two-lane highway to get to Memphis Hospital where I was. So they came up usually every other week and spent the afternoon on Sunday. And I was always so glad to see them, having been alone up there among strangers and unable to move or breathe. So, uh, so, really, so mother would occasionally sit by the iron lung and read Bible scriptures and tell me what was going on, on in the church. So I was a great inspiration and encouragement to continue going as I was. Second Bible verse.
Yes, and Joshua 1:5. And that is, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. So this was something that was just really wonderful. How old were you, honey, when you were in that iron lung? 11 years
11
old.
years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was in the Cub Scouts.
That's right. You were in the Cub
Yeah.
Scouts. You were,
Yeah.
what was that?
I was in church organization, Royal Ambassador.
The Royal
Florida.
Ambassadors.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore in the church.
But there's a picture of me standing on the stage holding a flag along with about 8 or 10 other boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that picture is in the book. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The picture, me and Aaron is in the book too.
There, yes, that's also in the book. And before then, you had a very normal life, didn't you?
Yep. Normal.
One of my favorite ones was about, what was it, about the hog
The hog.
or the pig?
Yeah.
Whose pig did you all almost shoot?
Oh, we never knew. The bad dog is what the child.
It was the Mad Dog
Yeah.
chapter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We went hunting for a bad dog. Our three boys, 10, 11, 12 years, 13 years old. We hunted and found something moving in a thicket. So we had guns ready, and about that time, a pig walked out. So we almost shot a neighbor.
Shot your neighbor's pig.
Yeah.
That was not a good thing. That was not a good thing in that. So anyway, one of the things that I have always noticed and other people have noticed about you is that you don't have bitterness about what happened to you. You just don't. Why don't did you have bitterness? Did you
Yeah.
work through
Oh,
it? Were you how old were you when you came to terms with it?
oh, it was a gradual thing. Over probably 20 years old.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, I decided it didn't help anything. Would improve to be better. And then I have a piece in the book about my roommate who was bitter
Hmm.
and how it didn't work well for
Hmm.
him. So you can read it in the book.
It's in the book,
Yeah,
isn't it? Hmm. And I remember you were telling me about how you just came to terms thinking about who would have been. You didn't think of anybody in the family. You wouldn't want your sisters to have it. You wouldn't have wanted your
yeah,
father to have it.
right.
You wouldn't
Yeah,
have wanted your mother to have it. And
yes,
you just seemed to be able to manage it.
yeah. I just did the best I could. Finally, I had a crisis in Warm Springs. I had been in the hospital or rehabilitation hospital for 18 months out of 21. So, so they wanted to do another operation on me,
Hmm.
and I couldn't do
Just
it.
couldn't do it. And you just kind of collapsed. Yeah. Hmm.
Tried to tried to stand up, and I fell to the floor.
Hmm. You just decided it mind over matter,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm. Well, one of the things that I had admired from you from the first time that I met you and saw you was that your determination that you were going to be treated like any other man, and you wanted to live a life that was like any other man. And look at what you succeeded in doing with the Lord's help and with people. You have a wonderful family who has supported your family, your sisters. You have three sisters, and they still call, every week, at least once a week. They want to know how you're doing. They come up here from Mississippi and Gloria from South Carolina just to be with you. They want to know how you're doing. And you still have wonderful, your parents used to come here. You've had a wonderful support system.
yeah. I thank God for that too. Thank God. Yeah, my sisters are all widows now,
Hmm.
and think about that. You know,
Hmm.
uh, left as the only male. Uh, so think about that. And
Hmm.
I'm grateful for church. It's a place for refuge
Hmm.
because
Yes,
both my home church, First Baptist in Aberdeen, Mississippi, Mississippi, and Pitts Baptist,
Pitts
yeah,
Baptist. Yeah,
yeah, been so good for us to go there.
yes.
Gratitude to them.
We have some really good friends at Pitts Baptist, don't we?
Yes,
And they come and visit
yes,
and
yeah,
we all have a good time and we laugh about stuff and we just have a good time, don't we?
yeah,
And they're there. We know that they're always there. Mr. Eddie Thompson and his
yeah,
lovely wife Lisa. They were
yeah,
Deacon and wife and his wife for several months
yeah,
and
yeah,
actually for
yeah.
several years. And we were truly grateful because it helped to bring that spiritual uh, feeling
He is,
in that we
he,
needed.
he is helping uh, now with this recording.
Recording. Yes, he
Yeah,
is. And we wouldn't be able to even do this if it hadn't been for
yeah,
him.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I would like to thank you all for uh, inviting us to your meeting again this evening. I also thought before we closed out and said our goodbyes, I thought you might like to know what it was from my perspective to be married to such a man as this Mr. Charles Mobley. Now, I call him Chuck. Most of the time, I call him Honey, and he'll call me Honey. When I call him Chuck, he knows, or if I call him Mr. Mobley, he knows he's in trouble. And the rest of the time, I just call him honey. And living with him has been one of the most inspiring experiences of my life. This man is determined. He always has been determined. He's always a can-do person. And if you can't do, then you need to find a way to do it. And I remember his son telling me recently about something about his dad, and he said his dad used to say things to him like, "Well, the hard we'll do first, and the impossible we'll do tomorrow." And I think he's always had that attitude. And that it made my life easier in some ways because whenever came time to decide, well, I wonder if I really want to do this, then I turn around and I see him doing what he was doing. He's a good professor. He was a good professor. He was one of my professors. That's how we met. He he was excellent at teaching. He wanted others to know. He wanted them to know the sources of the materials that we were studying. He wanted us to understand the theories, and he wanted the students to understand. It wasn't just that he understood and he wanted us to know that he understood. He wanted us to understand. And that's how he always has been. He wants us to understand. And he's a godly man, and I am truly blessed. Charles, would you like to say something?
Hmm. Thank you, Sharon. I want to add that I had inspiration myself, and that I think we left a foundation, firm foundation. That was my parents and my church affiliation were very strong, very, very strong. I look today, see so many young people and middle-aged people who are just drifting in where life. They don't know what to do, what is valuable. So they need to think about these things. And this, I wanted also, also to have them experience. Uh, so my sincere mention, my parents made the trip to Memphis once every 2 weeks. It's a 6 hour drive all the way round trip, and oh, the dedication and love that they showed were amazing, amazing, and so powerful. Uh, Helped me overcome. No matter what, I knew they were there, and my sisters the same way. I knew I could count on them. So that was a consolation. So now I pray for them because they've all all lost their husbands. They have their own trials to go through. So I hope you find this book inspiring and informative. And if you have any questions, you can submit to Eddie. I think I can volunteer him. He will take them, and maybe we can address the questions in future podcast or whatever Zoom cast, whatever they call this. So glad you got the book. Spread the word. Read the book. Get back to us if you have any questions we could address. Thank you all for watching the show. Wish you the best. Thank
Okay.
you again for the opportunity of sharing this with you. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.